Freshman year is supposed to be about adjusting. New classes, new expectations, new speed of the game. But Jackson didn't adjust. He accelerated. At 6'1", long arms, quick hips, and natural instincts, he stepped onto the field as a cornerback and immediately turned heads. He wasn't just tall for his age, he moved different. Fluid in backpedal, explosive in breaks, fearless at the line. Quarterbacks learn quickly. Throw at him if you want, but understand the risk. By mid-season, upperclassmen had stopped calling him the freshman. They started calling him Jax. Respect. Smaller Division I schools began to take notice. Early offers started rolling in. Nothing flashy yet, nothing headline grabbing, but real, verified. And for a freshman cornerback in Georgia, that means something. Because Georgia football isn't just competitive, it's war. And Jackson Fears was holding his own. Sophomore year came with a curveball. Not only did Jackson grow an inch, the coaching staff had been watching something. The way Jackson accelerated in open space, the way he planted and exploded, the way defenders struggled to square up with him during drills. They pulled him into the office one day. Hey Jax, we're moving you to running back. Some players would hesitate. He didn't. If anything, he smiled. Because Jackson Fears wasn't just a football player. He was the ultimate competitor. And running back, that meant the ball was in his hands. That meant impact. That meant control. From the very first game, it was obvious. This wasn't a defensive back pretending to play offense. He was a natural. Vision between the tackles, patience on zone reads, breakaway speed once he hit the second level. Defenders took bad angles, safeties made business decisions. By mid-season, he wasn't just doing well, he was dominating. Long touchdown runs, explosive plays, game-changing drives. The same schools recruiting him at cornerback started asking questions. Can he play both? The answer, yes. And after proving he could contribute and make an impact as a running back, he started to get more offers from different schools to be a running back as well. But just as that started to shake up everything in his journey to get to college, something else unexpected happened. See, it all just started with some pickup games after school in the gym, just runs. But some coaches, they happened to be watching, and they saw a 6'2" football player with bounce, lateral quickness, and instincts. They saw the defense translate, they saw the body control, and they made the call. Hey, Jax, you ever play basketball? He had played for casual fun. But this was different. This was varsity level basketball in Georgia. And Georgia basketball is serious. Jackson joined the team his sophomore year and learned something very quickly. Football athleticism, it gets you in the door. Skills might keep you there. They were playing some of the top competition in the state though. Future Division I guards, elite shooters, physical forwards. He couldn't just rely on being athletic, so he had to lock in. He struggled somewhat early in the game, adjusting to the speed, because like I was saying, this is elite level competition. Division I mean, these dudes are 6'1", 6'2", they ready to go play D1 basketball at the best colleges in the world. But slowly, you could see Jack starting to adjust to the game, and the flashes started to show. Blocks in transition, on-ball defense, suffocated opposing guards. He wasn't polished yet, but you could see it. The potential was there, and that's all he needed for now. Jax eventually started to find his rhythm offensively as well, showing his athleticism and that he could get to the lane and finish tough buckets. He was starting to show all that potential that coaches were seeing and those pickup runs. And some of these defenders were learning that they might have to show this kid Jackson Fears some respect on that court, even though he was mostly known as a football player. He was definitely out there showing he could hold his own, even coming up with a dunk in his very first game on the court with a team. And from there, Jackson pretty much took off. Although he wasn't starting, he was definitely getting more comfortable being on the floor. He was making it start to look routine, getting on that rim. That was looking like it was starting to become one of his favorite parts of the game, honestly. Just getting to the rack and finishing tough buckets. And every now and then, he'd even show that he can knock down a jumper or two. And although Jackson was having a strong first season, playing team organized ball, unfortunately, the team ended up coming up short in the state tournament playoffs, and they ended up being eliminated. But going into Jackson's junior year, man, showing more growth. He actually ended up growing another 2 inches, now standing at 6'4", weighing 205 pounds. So now all the scouts and prospects are basically drooling over this dude because he's showing that he's going to keep growing and that his game is going to keep expanding. Jackson made a decision himself that he wanted to go back full-time to defense, cornerback, his original position. The coaches honored it because by now they trusted him. In junior year, that's when things get escalated. He wasn't just reacting anymore, he was dictating. Press coverage became his specialty. Wide receivers struggled to create separation. Quarterbacks hesitated. Routes got disrupted at the line. His football IQ had leveled up. He baited throws, jumped routes, finished plays, interceptions, pass breakups, momentum shifting plays. Now the bigger schools, well, they were starting to notice and they were starting to call. It was only a matter of time before some of the big Power 5 programs would start gaining attention and official visits would start coming through. And I mean, when I mean Power 5 programs, I mean the big guys. Some colleges weren't just recruiting him for football though. They were considering him playing basketball as well. Because by junior year, his basketball development, well, that was just as undeniable. He embraced defense first, guarding the best player, picking up full court, turning defense into fast break points. But offensively, he was evolving, catch and shoot threes, explosive drives to the rim, pull up mid-range. The gym became his second home. Two-sport athletes are rare at that level. Elite in both, that's different. And although people were getting used to seeing Jax make highlight plays, his inexperience will show up from time to time. Midway through the basketball season, Jackson had his breakout game. Facing a ranked opponent, national television, high energy crowd, everything clicked. Defensively, he locked down one of the conference's top scorers. Offensively, he attacked the rim, hit corner threes, finished fast breaks, and by the end of the night, he ended up with a whole 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks. For a sophomore, juggling 2 sports, that stat line turned heads. Commentators started mentioning his story during broadcasts. 2-sport athlete, elite versatility, relentless competitor. His reputation was beginning to grow. And by his senior year, let's just say his name was ringing bells. To To start his senior year, he had grown another inch. He was standing at 6'5", 208 pounds. To say he was built like a man amongst boys was an understatement. At the beginning of his senior year, there was so much hype surrounding him, he actually was able to do an interview with a local TV reporter. She was asking him all kinds of questions, and he was letting her know that he wanted to go somewhere with a prestigious coach staff, and he was focused on that pro potential. You know, he wanted to be a two-sport pro athlete. I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if that was gonna be possible for him. But before even getting on the gridiron during the summer, Jax was presented with a rare opportunity to be a part of Team USA and represent amongst the best young athletes in America. And man, he went out there and really showed that he deserved to be there. And he was showing that he could compete against some of the best in his age group. My boy was out there catching bodies, putting on a show. See him out there really feeling himself. As hype as my guy was to represent Team USA, he had to lock right back in. Because before he knew it, the football season was starting. And this was senior year. This was his last chance to show that he could make a big impact on that field. And this year, he was playing both sides of the field, running back and corner. And he was making an impact, making big plays on defense, getting into the backfield. And man, dude was showing that he just really had a sixth sense on that field. You see him right here, just knowing to blitz the quarterback and coming up with a big play. Right here on offense, showing he had hands as well, hitting the defender with a smooth spin move. And you already know, all gas, no brakes, straight to the crib. Dude was really getting, like I said, noticed by everybody. I mean, it's hard not to notice a 6'5", 208. You know what I'm saying? He probably the biggest kid everywhere he go for the most part. And not to mention, I mean, he's standing out. Ranked number 8 in the whole nation. 2nd in the state. Man, dude really been out there doing his thing. And at this point, basically every school in the country is interested in him. He's a solid 5-star prospect. I guess it's really just going to come down to where he wants to go, where he feels like it's going to be the best fit for him. And before we knew it, on the gridiron, it was senior night. His last performance at home in front of the home crowd on this very field. There's a lot of emotions. But Jax was looking to end on a huge note. And he was doing just that, coming up with big stops in the backfield, then on offense, making defenders miss, and taking it all the way to the crib. All gas, no brakes. Get off me. Get off me. To the crib. All gas, no brakes. My boy Jax really out there making highlight plays. Get off me, spin move. Hold on now. Hold on now. And on that court, man, he was looking just as comfortable. Honestly,
There were people who were starting to debate if he was better at basketball or if he was better at football, which was a crazy debate because he had been playing football, I mean, basically his whole life. And I mean, yeah, like we had said before, he had played basketball, like casually, but never on a competitive level. But he was looking and adjusting quickly. He was definitely looking like he belonged among the best of the best. And all the colleges, well, they were taking notice too. And before we knew it, the Georgia State playoffs were here. And Jackson Fears, well, he was looking to lead his team all the way. This was going to be his last chance to try to help lead his team. And he was looking determined throughout every round. He was looking confident, driving to that rim like he always had since he stepped onto the court. But his jump shot, well, that was starting to come through too. And he was even starting to, learn how to get a little finesse around the rim. Jackson Fears and the Grayson High Rams, well, they have been playing so well, they ended up making it all the way to the district championship. And if they could make it through this round, that would punch their ticket to the state final. And coming out in this game, Jackson was looking strong. He was looking determined to lead his team to victory. Slashing through to the rim, getting to the rack at will, like he had become known to do. And he had even knocked down a couple tough jump shots over defenders. It was getting to the point where he was making it look easy up there on the court. People were starting to use that phrase, a man amongst boys. And when it was all said and done, Jackson had led his team to victory. This was a huge moment for Grayson High. And not only did he lead them to the victory, but he was actually honored by being named Player of the Game, which this was a huge accomplishment for someone who had only picked up competitive basketball only a couple years ago. But he was showing and proving that he deserved it. But in the next round, it was for all the marbles, so they had to lock in. And they will be going up against Delaney High School, who had their star, Lamont Banks. Lamont Banks was known as an all-around threat. He could get it done from all three levels, scoring-wise. And he was a pretty good passer, too, helping his teammates look good where he knew they could score the ball. But Lamont, he was a bucket himself as well. Definitely wasn't somebody to be slept on. He came out early, had the defenders jumping, and getting to that rim. You could see why people were so high on this kid, Lamont Banks. And Delaney High, well, they had a pretty solid team. They didn't make it to the championship by luck. They had other guys surrounding Lamont that could get buckets as well. But LB, he was the engine that drove it all. But Jax, he was not looking to back down in this moment. He was showing that he could come up with huge plays and huge moments, getting his own rebound and slamming it down. He was even feeling so good, He told them boys to crown him. That was crazy. Dude really hit him with the Giannis emote, the crown me. And he was out there showing why people have been so high on his potential. You could see he had really worked on his jump shot, and his slashing ability had only gotten stronger. And on defense, well, he was known as a corner on the football field, so that defense on the court translated. And man, it helped them win the championship. And before we knew it, it was National Signing Day.
Classic beats.